guys, what's going on? Welcome to our brand new interview series. It's called There Goes My Hero. I'm Matt.
And I'm Zach.
And for a while now, we've been talking that we wanted to get interviews going with the podcast. And, well, when the opportunity arose, we did not want to miss it with the lead singer of Dirty Honey and Marc LaBelle. So we decided to put together a couple little interview shows, and this is our first brand new one. Like I said, it's called There Goes My Hero. Zach, why don't you run down with them what's going on here?
Well, I mean, basically, if you recall the first time you ever met your musical icon or hero, I mean, it's one of those things that will always stay with you and resonate with you. So we thought, we wanted to find out the first time that our favorite musicians met their favorite musicians. So I was really excited to get to talk to Marc because, I mean, Dirty Honey is a really great band that takes all the best elements of 70s rock and adds in a nice little modern flair to it, really refreshing take on it. And they've been just doing some amazing things on rock radio, getting a lot of recognition, getting on a lot of amazing tours. And I do wish that we got to talk to him under slightly better circumstances. The band was actually supposed to be traveling to Australia to record new music as well as play a few festivals, but given the current circumstances regarding the coronavirus pandemic, their plans got halted pretty fast. So it was awesome to get to hear him discuss a little bit more about how the band has been handling everything and taking advantage of the new time that they got to work on the music. And then, of course, also just getting to hear his encounters with his favorite band, Aerosmith. I mean, you listen to him and you can tell he's a huge Aerosmith fan. So that was really awesome. And then as a huge Slash fan myself, just hearing him recount the first time he got to jam with him made me a little jealous, I'm not going to lie. But with that said, here's the first part of our interview with Marc, and stay tuned for more from our chat, but give it a listen and enjoy.
See ya.
Thank you so much for joining us, and for joining us for the first time. We've actually had a guest on the show too. We're really excited about this.
Yes, that's pretty cool.
Well, I showed up, so that's a good sign.
Yeah. So before we talk about the first time you met an influential figure in your life, I guess we just want to catch up with you and see how you're doing and holding up with everything going on. I know it's kind of a crazy time for everyone.
Yeah, it's pretty boring. Just trying to do my share and stay inside as much as possible. That's not to say I don't go out and get some exercise every day, which I definitely like to do. It's like beautiful and sunny out here in LA, but yeah. So I try and get out, for like an hour each day and hit the grocery store and ride my bicycle or whatever, and then the rest of the day is kind of spent trying to write music and watching Netflix. Everything's been put on hold. We were supposed to be in Australia right now, so obviously that didn't happen.
Yeah, I was actually
working on the new album, right?
Yeah, we were supposed to be, but they closed their borders. I think we were supposed to leave on a Tuesday, and they closed the borders on a Sunday. So
sucks.
Yeah.
On the bright side, at least you didn't get stuck in a completely different country.
Yeah, I get there. It's good and bad. I mean, the place we record in is like one of the most beautiful places in the world, so I wouldn't mind having to be stuck there for an extra extended period of time. Have a little bit of time to reset is good.
And it probably is also a good time to catch up on the creative process too, and working on music, as you mentioned.
Yeah, we've been meeting up a couple times a week, just demoing stuff. That's sort of our process. Is demo before you go into the studio, as get the songs in as good a shape as you can before you even hand them over to the producer, and then he sort of puts his take on it. And yeah, it's been a pretty good creative period, so I'm not complaining.
So I'm going to ask a question. I don't know if you have one yet, or have you guys worked on a title for the new record yet, or is there something that you're kind of kicking around?
I haven't an ounce of thought into it. I'd rather get the music to be where I want it to be, and then the marketing stuff can come later.
Okay. How does that feel in comparison to what you guys did on the original EP? How does the new stuff sound? Is it kind of like in the same vein? You guys exploring a little bit?
I mean, yeah, we haven't like introduced any other instruments or anything yet. The only thing outside of us on the last EP that was on there was an organ that was played by our friend Nigel Hall from the group Lettuce, and he killed it. But yeah, we haven't really written anything that needs another instrument or musician or anything like that. So in that sense, it's pretty much the same. Yeah, I don't know. We're not trying to steer too far away from the four-piece rock band thing, and just trying to keep it soulful and fun and high energy and raw. Certainly, that's the recipe that people have been responding to. And, you know, more than anything, that's where our passion lies. So getting away from that wouldn't necessarily be authentic, which is, you know, I think fans and audiences can read right through that if you're reaching too far outside of what makes you real, you know?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I know that you guys, you know, before everything kind of got shut down, you were going to be on tour with like Godsmack and Hailstorm, Theory of a Dead Man. You were on the road with Alter Bridge, if I'm not mistaken, Shinedown. You know, some pretty big names are taking note of you guys. Who have you guys wanted to tour with that you haven't toured with? Or, you know, if you could bring anybody back, who would you want to tour with?
I mean, if we could bring anybody back, I think opening for Slash and Miles Kennedy was sort of a perfect musical fit where people, Slash and Miles Kennedy fans, they're definitely deeper musical fans than just knowing like the Guns N' Roses hits. Yeah, so that was really cool. And then obviously with the Alter Bridge stuff, that had sort of a seamless transition. Their fans really responded to it as well. So those would be two we'd love to revisit and may in the future, who knows. But in terms of heroes, I think Aerosmith would be a big one. Guns N' Roses we did. That's definitely way up there on the list. The Black Crowes would be cool.
That would be really good.
That would be cool. Guns N' Roses would be cool. Again, I guess the only one that really is still around and playing is Aerosmith. Of my heroes, you know.
Okay.
Well, you know what? That's a pretty good segue, I'd say, Matt, to our episode, There Goes My Hero. So, Mark, tell us about the time you got to meet one of your musical heroes for the first time.
Yeah, the first time I was a real little kid when I met Steven Tyler and Joe Perry. And that was sort of the catalyst for me wanting to be a rock star and pursuing my musical journey, because I met them outside of a radio station and they were just being full-on rock stars, signing girls' boobs and dress cool and getting into a limo and just had a crowd around them. And I was like,
that's cool.
That's a fun life. You know, that looks pretty cool, whatever these guys are doing. And I gravitated towards that shortly after.
I wonder why you gravitated.
yeah, there's nothing that looked fun at all about that, right?
How old were you when that happened?
I must have been like 7. I was really little.
That's an impressionable age.
Yes, definitely. And when I was like the first one outside the door, because I was so little I could scoot by people, and left my brother and my stepdad in the back, and I was right there when Joe Perry walked out of the door, and I screamed Joe, like it just came out, you know, and shook my hand and gave me a pat on the head or whatever, and it was really cool. I will never forget that. But yeah, the first time I met Slash too, he was fucking awesome. He met him in Phoenix before a gig. I'd never met him before. Obviously, I love Slash and Guns N' Roses, and all the stuff he's been a part of has been successful, and I really enjoy all of it. You know, the biggest thing I took away from meeting him was just he's still passionate about it, and that was like 2 years ago maybe.
Yeah.
And to see this guy that's like so iconic and has done everything you could possibly do and still loves like to play for whether it's 2,000 or 20,000 or 80,000 people, like you got to be doing this for the right reasons if you're going to be in it for the long haul. And he definitely is. I mean, he loves playing guitar. So
yeah, you're so right. Because I got to see Slash with Miles 2 years ago at a small theater, and this was like a few years after seeing him in a huge stadium.
Yep.
And it's awe-inspiring to see him play. It really is. Like, as you mentioned, for a guy who's just literally like a god to just want to be on a stage like that, it was just so cool to see.
He's just like so charismatic, and a big element of his charisma is, you know, his passion. He gets so into the playing that it's really captivating when he's playing. I mean, you're seeing sort of something special every time. He rarely plays the same thing twice back to back at shows, you know, like he's really improvising and he's really good at it. And, you know, that's what makes him special. So.
Now I have to ask a question just because I see you got the hat on. The hat's Did he let you wear the hat?
No, he didn't wear the hat. No, No, he would not. It's certainly not a top hat either. I'm not wearing a top hat in his space ever. Even though this one's pretty different. I just got this one. I like it a lot. But
It's really cool.
Yeah, as you can tell, I got a lot of hats, obviously.
Well, actually, I have to imagine. Like, walk me through how you actually met Slash, because I would just be nervous being in the same room as him.
Yeah, I definitely was.
What was your first thought when you saw him walk up to you?
You know, living in LA, and I worked on some movie sets and stuff, and you know, I've kind of acquired this. I don't know if it's a skill or just an awareness, I guess, of just letting people do their thing. Nobody, especially anybody famous, doesn't need to be like fanboyed, especially like right before they go on stage. I just kind of steered clear, and that was in Phoenix, was our first show with him, and you know, we just sort of passed each other backstage, said what's up, and you know, you're backstage together in a pretty small venue. It was only like 1,500 people, so like, you know, you're pretty unavoidable to one another, and you know, I just kind of kept an eye on him and saw how he was warming up, and just checked out his mannerisms, and it was really interesting just to see how pumped up he got to play for 1,500 people, because he was hot off the Guns N' Roses stadium summer. To go from that to what we were doing was, you know, obviously much smaller. But later on, as we sort of got more comfortable with their crew and the band, you know, we got to hang and chat, and he invited me to play with them in Anaheim at this Gibson event like 2 months ago, and it was awesome. Like, I got to perform with Slash on it. It was a dream come true, obviously.
That's
so
awesome.
He's been very nice to me, especially, and the band. So you know, he's definitely a hero of mine, and you know, he's been a great supporter. So
That's so cool. That's so cool.
yeah, he's fucking up.
I mean, I'm a little jealous that you got to sing with Slash, let alone be in the same room as him.
Yeah, you just close your eyes and hope that you sing real good when you're in front of somebody like that, you know.
and following Miles too. You got balls too. Good for you, man.
But you know, when those guys come up to you, you know, after a couple shows and they say nice things, and you know, you can tell when they're genuine, and it gives you more confidence. And a lot of any artistic like success, you know, is certainly helped along from encouragement and confidence, and you know, having those guys in your corner definitely means a lot and does a lot for both those things. So.
Totally. I kind of want to go back to Aerosmith real quick. Tom Hamilton gave you guys probably one of the best shout outs you can ask for from Aerosmith.
For sure. Yeah.
When he tweeted, "Good job with the cover of Last Child."
Yeah, it was awesome. That was I won't forget that day either, obviously. But no, yeah, I haven't met them since. I've seen them easily 25 times since that was the day of my first concert ever. That was Aerosmith when I met them.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, I mean, I've seen them a lot since then, obviously. And can't say enough good things about them. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for them. And that's definitely my favorite band. And they still sound awesome. Saw them in Vegas a couple times, and like,
nice.
They're awesome. So the show is great, and I will probably go again once this thing dies down. So,
what was your first thought when you found out that Tom Hamilton tweeted about the band?
That was awesome, obviously. I mean, the guy we recorded it with was a huge Aerosmith fan too, and you hope something like that obviously happens when you do, you know, a cover, and you obviously don't expect it to, but it happened pretty quickly after we released it. And we were on the road, and our manager sent us, he's like, "Do you guys fucking see this? It's crazy." And I was like, "Oh my God." So I don't even know how he got it, you know what I mean? So it's pretty cool. It was awesome.
So I hope, Matt, you don't mind me doing this, but I have to. So we have another show called "If You Have to Pick Three," where me and Matt debate about, you know, it can be any topic, and we have to pick a three. So I'm going to put you on the spot. If you had to pick the three best Aerosmith songs, what would they be?
I guess if I was going to give it to somebody that's never listened to Aerosmith before, I would go Dream On, obviously, Walk This Way, and then you have to go with something off. I'll go Back in the Saddle.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a classic.
It's a classic without being like a huge smash single. Those ones are the ones I tend to gravitate to more these days. I don't know why. John, our guitar player, we were just talking the other day, and he got super wasted a couple nights ago because he had nothing better to do. And he was just like, I just decided to learn all of rocks. And he said too, he's like, I can see how that influenced Slash. Like, it sounds like Appetite a little to me. So
yeah,
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great record.